recording. Okay, so welcome to tonight's call. Melissa is the crazy person excited about her virtual background. We're just going to keep going though. So I'm going to share my screen. We just celebrated some wins with everybody. I'm going to do some announcements, and then Jess and Shayla, I almost said this again, are going to talk about how they just like took off in this business. So let me get through this quickly so that we can get the good stuff. Okay, so first and foremost, guys, go into your Coach Online office every Wednesday. Beachbody week runs Thursday to Wednesday, but I'm going to need you to at least go into your Coach Online office once a week. And I say do it on Wednesday because that's towards the end of the week. And then if you're an Emerald or a Diamond coach, you can check your sponsorship drill down and see if anybody's projected to be inactive. And so I think it's important. Wednesday's the end of the week. So if you see somebody's about to be inactive and you're going to lose your Emerald or your Diamond, it's actually better to probably look on a couple times a week. So like Mondays and Wednesdays, I go in there honestly every day because I want to see if I got a lead assigned to me. Because if you're hitting Success Club 5 or Success Club 10, you're eligible for a lead. So I go in there every day. It's just like, I go in there, I check my sponsorship drill down. I see if there's going to be anybody like affected with rank that I need to look into. I check for new customers, and I will either text them and email them. I check the coach breaking news, and then I double check that any orders that went through correctly. Let's see what else. If you're doing thank you notes, I write down the addresses to send out little handwritten thank you notes. And then I'm also going in and running those reports, which I don't actually run those reports anymore for Success Club and volume and things like that. I have an assistant to do that. But when you start small, when you're starting and you're doing it yourself, you can do all of that. So in the Coach Breaking News, you can find a lot of information. The biggest thing I'm focusing right now is that you have the option, if you're Diamond and below, to get $200 travel cash for Summit. And it will just be deposited into your bank account around the time of Summit. And you can use that for travel. You can use that for the core. The core, if you don't know, is where all Beachbody's goodies and swag and everything is. Probably. Okay, yeah. So for example, I have these shorts are my favorite shorts ever. I have them also have the pants, I have the jacket. I literally probably can't even tell you how much Beachbody stuff. That was one thing that Shayla first messaged me. She was like, I feel like you always are wearing these shirts. Have you done all these programs? And I was like, well, yes, actually. Are you a coach? And that's when I found out that I thought she was a coach for the longest time. And I was like, oh man, this girl keeps coming up, but she's definitely a coach. And I didn't actually ask her. Turns out she was not. So, and I think she has somebody that she's done like the same thing to right now, that we've just got on a 3-way Zoom together, because she's literally doing everything except for being a coach. So all of this, everything for traveling, everything you shop in the core, everything is a tax write-off as well. So if you hit Success Club October, November, December, and you're Diamond or Emerald or Coach or Ruby rank, you will get $200, which is super exciting because they've never done that before. Success Starters ticket that you can get a free ticket to Summit. And Jess and Shayla, I'm going to keep trying to say Liz every time now. Jess and Shayla are actually in month 2. This is going to be Jess's 2nd month, and this is going to be Shayla's 3rd month hitting Success Club to earn their ticket, correct? Yep. 2 and 3? Okay. So they're going to earn their free ticket, and Rachel Hollis is going to be there. This is huge right now, guys, because Rachel Hollis is everywhere, and everybody loves her. So I literally just made a post that I was like, hey, if I could teach you how to see Rachel Hollis for free, would you be interested? And I'm starting a lot of conversations about coaching just from that. I saw Heather is in one of her groups where she's doing like the last 90 days, and that's something that Rachel Hollis is doing. And she was like, hey, just wanted to let you know if anybody's like wanting to come see her, let me know. I can teach you how. Sorry. So just leverage that because everybody loves her right now. So if you hit, and I also want to make sure you understand. So if you sign right now, you sign October, what's today, the 25th, you can hit Success Club October, November, December, or November, December, January. And they do this for a reason, because if you sign up on October 31st, it's not fair to be like, well, you didn't hit Success Club in October, so you don't get that Success Starter. So that's really important. It's either the month you sign up or the next month. It can be either or. But if you hit Success Club in October, you don't in November, and then you do December, January, that doesn't count. So it has to be 3 consecutive months, whether it's that month you sign up or the next month, which is cool. So sometimes people don't realize that. The Shift Shop Success Club, or Shift Shop Challenge Packs are also $20 off. I sent out an email. I'll have to share this with you guys, but do you guys know that once you are doing this business a while, you know, you'll have, okay, this every month you'll have an email from Beachbody. Hey, heads up, here are your people whose Beachbody On Demand is renewing. So I send out an email and I say, hey, just wanted to let you know your Beachbody On Demand is going to renew on X date. I just wanted to see if you wanted to bundle it together because there's a couple of deals right now. So I had somebody respond back and he was like, I'm interested in the Shift Shop Challenge Pack with the Energize and Recover and renewing my bod. What would that be? So I started a conversation there. So it's just really cool to leverage that Beachbody does that for us. Then we might as well send that out and be like, hey, just wanted you to see if I could get you bundled anything together. So I'll share that little email that I send out. But I've got a couple people on board, 2 people interested. One person was like, oh, I canceled it and I'm doing Isogenics, which that's okay, whatever, do your thing. I just said, you know, I'm here if you need anything. But I might be selling 2 challenge packs just from you know, sending those emails. If you missed Super Saturday, the video is available in the Coach Online office. Also, guys, I'm like 2 squirrel when I'm doing this, so I'm not checking the chat right now. So if you can answer each other's questions in there, that'd be good because I can see it popping up, but I have to get through this. If you missed Super Saturday, the video is available in Coach Online office. There's a lot of announcements about what's coming out, like the Energize, you know, it's coming out in tubes, which is awesome, easier to pour into a water bottle. They're coming out with a fruit punch. They said that there will be a female celebrity trainer launching a new fitness program at Summit, and I'm almost positive it's going to be Jericho. So that's super exciting. I love her. I love her and Joel's style of workouts. So I think that will be really cool. She's got really great energy. Transform 20, we are going to put together a Snoop group. If you guys were here with Lift 4, we had a really great Snoop group, that like an information group basically before it was launched, so people can see the transformations, they can see the different packages, they can see what it's about, they can try some workouts, things like that. I was in the round table today, and if you're 5-star or above, you get into the round table, which is with corporate reps are there as well, and then all the top leaders, anybody 5-star and above, and they are like praying to Beachbody that they don't launch anything before it launches, like free workouts, because they don't want people to go find steps on like Amazon, because your package is going to be including in this step. And so we are really, really trying to leverage this mega pack with the step, because he really does. The step is not just like the regular aerobic step. It's different for a reason, that it's not high-low aerobics. It's fast-paced. So we don't want people just buying it from wherever, or Amazon or whatever. We want them buying it from us. So we're going to talk about that and talk about, you know, everything that comes with it. And there are so many Shaun T fans. So what we're going to also do with the water challenge that starts November 5th with the 3-day refresh, which is on my next slide, we'll do some Shaun Week, like screen sharing and Zoom and things like that to promote, because there are so many Shaun T fans out there. So I will need help with the Transform 20 group, but we can't really do anything until beginning of November, because those who are in the coach test group aren't allowed to share anything, their results, until November. So we'll have some of those where I'll just put together a Google document with before and afters when they share it into the round table, and then we can work together. So if you have any interest in helping me with that, just let me know. Okay, so the Emerald Push group that is bi-weekly, we did 2 weeks ago, or a week, whatever it was, a week and a half ago. We're changing it this coming week because of Halloween. So it's supposed to run like Tuesday night to Wednesday night, because Beachbody week ends Wednesday. But because of Halloween, we're going to do Monday through Tuesday. So just make sure that it's going to be the same group. And so if you just like search Emerald in our team page, you'll find the link to it. But it's going to be Monday through Tuesday. If you have anybody in there, make sure they get added. If you have any new coaches or anything, it was really, really great information. Team calls, here we are, 8 o'clock every Thursday. I want you to kind of, as you sign coaches, just make that like a non-negotiable thing for them. Like, Just so you know, every Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern time, we hop on. It's a happy hour. We have a ton of fun together. We find out announcements. We train together. I'm making this a non-negotiable thing where I want to have this culture, because I get on team calls sometimes where I'm posting other leaders and they have like 30 to 40 people. And I'm like, why can't we do that? Like, why can't we have that? So if I need to poll and find a better time, fine. But if you guys want me to get like big name people, like I have options of signing up to have Sean T on our call, but I can't do it because he needs a 50 person minimum. Like Sean T is not going to come talk to our 10 faces. So I have the ability, being a 5-star and above coach, to get really big names, but I'm not going to waste people's time. So we have to start this culture. We have to be like, guys, this is our team happy hour. You got to make it. And if it's something where a ton of people say this isn't a good time, I'm open for change. I probably will need to keep it on Thursday, but I'm open for changing time. So let me know if you're getting a lot of pushback or anything like that. But I feel like for the most of us, I know some people have class and things like that, or we're watching the recordings, but a lot of it is just us making it our culture and being like, yep, hop on. So 3-day refresh and the 5-day water challenge. I've been posting a ton about this. I know Michael has had a lot of success talking about it. I've seen Heather posting about it a lot. So if I put a 3-day refresh transformation album in our Beautifully Made family, so you can use any of those results and just be like, I was like super simple about it. I just made a post and I was like, it was a picture of me, but you can use anybody. I was like, throwback to the time where I lost 4 pounds in 3 days of fluff, and I'm ready to do it again after all this Halloween candy is out. So let me know with posting a favorite gift below if you're ready to join. And I have like 4 people I'm having conversations with about that right now. So, and I found out that you cannot sell it to anybody in the UK today. So the UK cannot do the 3-day refresh, in case you find anybody from Instagram. So I'm hooking her up with Shakeology and a Beachbody On Demand challenge back. But use your stories. I posted about some stories and stuff today, so you can go take a look at how I did it. But honestly, I mean, I just did it in like 30 seconds when I was in the parking lot of picking up Adley from daycare. So you can definitely use your polls in Instagram, guys. I honestly encourage you to use a poll like every day, even if it's not Beachbody related. And what I do is I make the responses. It's not like yes and no. It's like, yes, queen, I need help. And, oh, I need accountability. Like, any answer they give me gives me an in to like have a conversation with them. So I can't tell you enough about that. Our Shift Shop sneak peek will stay open. It's going to be ongoing. We're kind of using it as a challenge group, but also anybody that wants information. It was last minute, so I know it's not like super pumped up in there, but I just kind of wanted to get that in there. So if anybody has anybody that's interested, they could just pop them in there and see the information. But that's going to be what Transform 20 is, but like on crack. It's going to be a lot better and a lot more exciting. A little more obsessed. If you want access to this, you have to be on HD. That's in your Coach Online office. I'm going to need some help with the 5-day water challenge that starts November 5th with the 3-day refresh. So if anybody wants to help with that, I've already got the group created, but I'm going to need help with content. If you are not in a coach pod and you want in on one, let me know. This is basically where I'm pairing people up to learn and grow together. Flash sale. I was going to do a Black Friday. I don't know if you guys wouldn't want to weigh in on that. If you want to do it Black Friday, or if you want to do it Cyber Monday, whatever you want to do. If you're wanting to do one, I'll set it up. I just need some help from that. 48-hour volume group is coming. I'm pairing up with Carly Wood, and we're going to put that together because we need to focus on volume and growing our paycheck. Talked about the 4-week email for clients in the units. Trying to get through all of this. And then basically commit to a personal development book this month. Don't just start it, commit to finishing it. You should be doing 30 minutes a day. Go look at other people for, at their Instagram stories that are coaches and things, but don't live there. Like, I want you to take action. I don't want you to spend 30 minutes looking at people's Instagram story. I want you to take action. You can go and get some, after you've sent your invites, maybe you can go for some inspiration and that's something you can reward yourself with after you have your invites. But I just feel like we're wasting a lot of time doing this when we should just be taking action. Miracle Morning for Network Marketers is an amazing book. And then if you're trying to grow your local community, I posted the recording today where Jamie Shepard hosted. It's said, turn your virtual tribe into a thriving local community. So I posted the recording in our group today. I posted this in our team page. I'm not going to go over it, but it's a really great way to talk to somebody about upselling from that Rachel Hollis podcast about how to increase your revenue by 30%. I shared a script from Danielle Natoni. You can't really read it, but this is how she talks about add-ons for beach bars, 3-day refresh, energize, hydrate, Beachbody on demand, Shakeology, blah, 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 blah. So that is posted in the team page. So I just wanted to cover as much of that. But without further ado, because I did not mean to take this long, but there's so much going on that I figured if I could just get it all out there, that would be helpful for you. Jess was a coach in 2016, and she rocked it, but just was not in the right mindset. Just was like, you know what, it's just too much. It's not for me. She had so much stuff going on with her health, trying to get everything figured out, figuring out she had PCOS and things like that. So for her coming back, she did have a little bit of an idea of what to do for coaching, but she was definitely doing it a lot different this time around, because she was had a little bit more confidence, but also was already having some success with 80-day obsession. So she came in like a wrecking ball and has been amazing ever since. Same thing as Shayla. That's you both together. She had great results from 80-day obsession as well. So they were both doing 80-day obsession, had really great results, and they are on track to win their free summit ticket. They hit Emerald their first 30 days. They've been rocking it with Success Club, and Shayla's doing a Disney challenge, or just wrapping up a Disney challenge and has a template if anybody else wants to run that. And Jess and Liz have been running a super successful group. So I'm going to put it off to you ladies. You have the floor, and can't wait to hear.
Okay, April, really fast. How do I share my screen?
Are you on a computer?
Yes.
Okay, look at the bottom where it says share.
Oh, really? It's that easy? Oh, are you sure you want me to run this call?
And guys, we have to remember to get a picture, because I didn't even bring my phone up here. So.
Okay, so Shayla, you're up.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay.
So this is me. Wait, all I see is Jess's face.
I don't see Jess's face.
Okay. So, yes. So like April said, I started off with the 80-day obsession, and I had amazing results. This is me on the left trying way too hard to flex, and then on the right, not having to try so hard, and stuff is actually peaking out. So, I only lost about, I think it was 10 pounds, but I replaced a lot of my fat with muscle. And so I think I was 40 days or so into 80-day obsession. And I only see April's face. There you go. So I was about 40 days into 80-day obsession. And then like April said, I was asking her why do you have all these shirts, basically, because I wanted some. And then apparently she thought I was a coach, but no, I was just a weirdo. And I was actually following April for 4 years, I think. And I remember her name was still April Pickney. That's when I was following her. So yeah, and then let's see. So honestly, I didn't even know about the coaching opportunity. I remember reading one of her posts saying that she was able to leave her desk job and able to help people. And I never thought that I would even be able to do that. And so long story short, I joined, and she told me I can get a free ticket. I love free stuff. So I got Success Club the first and second month, and I'm working on my third month, changing my mindset. I still have 5 more days to get people. And then I will have my free ticket to Summit. And yeah, that's me.
Okay. Oh, no, my computer's going to be funny. Okay, so hi, I'm Jess. I'm a little goofy. I'm sorry. It's been a long week. So like April said, I knew April in college, actually. I was the super antisocial person that studied all the time. So anyway, I started with 80-day obsession. Well, actually, I guess 5 years ago, I gained weight overnight, and I was always a soccer player. And it didn't really work. Nothing worked. So I finally figured out 5 years later, after multiple doctors, that it was PCOS. And then right about that time, I had just said, I give up and I'm going back to April because it worked. So anyway, that's kind of my, I was 38 pounds down in that picture. But my favorite part about all the pictures that I took is that in the first couple pictures, I hid my face with my phone because I was super embarrassed of who I was. So you can see in a lot of them I'm smiling and I'm just happy to be taking a picture. So I'm excited. Yeah, so that's me. I'm pretty simple. I'm a health educator at the hospital, so I also teach non-surgical weight loss. So I have kind of the same type of job. But we have some things, I guess, some topics. So stop us if we go too fast. I'm a little nervous. But so the first few weeks, some of the things that I did that in both times that I signed up to be a coach was I watched and learned and read everything I possibly could in probably the first 5 days. My husband was like, am I losing my wife to Beachbody? But yeah, I just really decided that I wanted to figure out what would work for me, because just because it worked for other people doesn't mean that that was my style. So kind of watched everything, kind of dug through the Google Drive and, every group, and tried not to be overwhelmed and make lists and things. And then I think the turning point for me, and I don't know if Liz feels the same way, but because we signed up at the same time. I guess I should tell you that. I decided to talk about coaching before I was even a coach and convinced my friend to sign up at the exact same time as me. So that was probably a little backwards, but we hopped on the first team call, and I can remember just feeling really motivated. So this team calls have really helped me a whole lot. I asked a ton of questions. I tried to get on my shell of being afraid of people judging me. So I know that April had put us in a coach pod, and I started asking questions, and people were super motivating. So that helped. And I think one of the main things that really helped me is I partnered up with Liz a whole lot to not only motivate and teach her what I knew, but she taught me a whole lot too. So we just kind of went back and forth. We had a meeting just sat at her kitchen table and tried to figure everything out together. So that was really fun. That was my first few weeks.
Okay, so yeah, and during my first few weeks, I did my training. I think it took me 2 weeks to do. I kind of just tried to find the pockets of my day to do what I could. And I continued to do my program, because one of the things that I learned from everyone basically is, you do got to be a product of the product. So at the time, I wasn't even doing Shakeology. And so I am the type of person where I don't want to push someone to do something if I don't fully believe in it. And so I made it a point to order my Shakeology and actually do it. And then ever since then, I love it. And so now I can authentically tell people that it is actually beneficial. So that was one of the biggest things that I did. And I also listened to everything and anything I could get my hands on. So living in the Bay Area sucks because we have so much traffic. So to do a 30-minute drive, it'll take me an hour. So that hour is spent doing personal development. I listened to pretty much all of the national wake up calls on the podcast, and I got to April, I think I got to January, and I was like, okay, I get it. I need to invite people, and I need to be a product of the product. And okay, now I need to go move on to something else. And so I've just been kind of listening to our weekly national wake up calls, and then other stuff that comes out. April sent out the leadership. I know I'm not a leader yet, but I still think that it's important to kind of have that mindset that eventually I will be a leader. So I listened to all of those 9 calls from Craig Holiday. So if you haven't listened to those, you guys should definitely do that. And I continue to share my story. And I know, I'm not sure if most of you guys know this, but I was in nursing school, and I actually got kicked out because I did not pass my my pediatrics course. And so I'm just basically trying to use that as kind of my fuel for my story. And like everyone has said, everyone has a story, and you guys have all shared your story. And I feel like that's what kind of pushed you all up. So Melissa, going through, sobering up, I took that, and I kind of just took that as motivation to share nursing, failing out of nursing school to keep me going. So that's that.
Okay. So invites, I know that that was a terrifying thing for me to do. I'm actually super outgoing, but not online. So um, that was very interesting. So I tried to think about who to invite, and I was lucky because I was actually a recent personal trainer that I retired from that. So I did lean a lot on my clientele that were really upset that I retired at first. But then I started thinking about my friends that really struggled or people that have asked me questions in the past. That's kind of who I really go for. And then I know April had talked to me a lot about, post with purpose. And so I started looking at the people that were commenting a lot or liking a lot and just basically telling them thanks and meaning it, because it meant a lot to me for people to reach out and say, you're doing awesome, or I'm really proud of you. And so that's kind of how I started most of my invites in the beginning, because it really did. A lot of people came out from the woodworks that I haven't talked to in probably 10 years, cheering me on. So I kind of talked to them about that. When I invite at night because that's what my schedule allows. So I'm also an MBA student and I work full time. So I eat dinner with my husband and then I invite while he's watching TV or we're watching TV. That just kind of works for me. It hasn't been successful at lunch because, I work in an office. You don't actually get a full lunch before people bother you. So I've been doing that a lot. The how I invite, I watched, I think it was my second, it's probably my second team call that we had a guest speaker and she talked about PB&J invites, and that changed my world. But I call it PB&J my way because I don't do it all in one time. So it's, hey, I really appreciate you. I'm really, it's meant a lot. I'm struggling, and just thank you so much for all that. How are you? I haven't seen you in a while, or whatever it would be. And then I will talk with them about life, and then they'll typically bring up like, well, what changed? And then I start talking to them, about what I'm doing and how they should be a part of it and why it's important and their goals and all that. And then I end up with, well, I'm working on the last part, you should be a discount coach, because I got a lot of no's on that. But I don't, because I said no for like months to April about being a discount coach, and that's just dumb. So I understand people when they say that. So yeah, it's actually really interesting. One of the people that reached out to me through a PBJ invite is another personal trainer's wife. So she's actually seeing results for the first time with this program. I really want her to be a coach, but she doesn't want to. So anyway, that's about what I do with invites. It's simple right now. I don't have a cold market yet, because that's still something I'm working on, and I'm learning too much. I just need to go for it, but we'll see.
Yeah, so with my invites, I started with my my warm market too. And at first it was a little awkward. I'd be like, hey, as you know, I am on because like I said, I was at that point, I was about halfway in day-to-day obsession. I said like, as you know, I'm on a weight loss journey. Thank you so much for supporting me. Did you want to join my challenge group? I know that's totally not the right way to do it, right? You're supposed to like warm it up and whatever, but no, I didn't do that because, I'm just I have to figure it out. I had to figure out the hard way. So I did that, and it felt really awkward, and I didn't like it because it wasn't really me, because it felt, too salesy, because I was just trying to get them to join me. And then I was like, okay, well, let's try to invite them to something, because at that point I was just saying, you want to start yours. And I didn't even have anything to invite them to, or I guess I did, but I didn't even like utilize it. So I asked April, I said, okay, what am I inviting them to? And she said, invite them to our challenge group starting, I think like sometime in August or whatever. So I said, okay, you want to join my challenge group? And then I was like, okay, let me preface. I was never part of a challenge group. Like I was just doing 80-day obsession all by myself. Okay. So I didn't know what happened in challenge groups. I honestly didn't. And so people were asking me, oh, what's a challenge group? I didn't know. So I was like, all right, I got to figure this out. So I just decided, I listened to someone, it was on the Beachbody Coach Facebook website thing. And the call or the live is, if it's boring to you, then it's boring to them. And so it talked about challenge groups and how, if you're bored in your own challenge group, chances are everyone else is bored. And so, like I said, I didn't know what was going on in challenge groups. So I had to figure out, one, what they were, two, how do I just run it? And so I put my own together, and that was my Disney standoff. And then so when people asked me, what is this challenge group? I actually was able to give them an answer of like how I was going to run it. And so I think just putting myself out there really helped, because I just had to figure it out on my own, because like I said, I didn't know what a challenge group was. So I just had to tell them what I was going to make it. And so that really helped too, because when I actually did implement my challenge group, I remembered what I said, and I had to stick with it so that they would get exactly what I told them. And it was pretty good. Like, I was pretty happy, because I remember like a couple of days ago or something like that, I was listening to one of the speakers, and she was saying that your challenge groups are probably going to suck for the first couple of months because you're not going to have that much interaction. And I was pretty just thinking that, like, no, mine was pretty good. Like, I had a lot of interaction, and I kind of just followed what April did, where she interacts with everyone, or like she always comments on all of my pictures. And like, I appreciate that, because it doesn't make me look like I'm like irrelevant or anything. So in that, I have some like interest, some people have some interest in my life. So that, and then, I kind of like made like the thought change of, you should turn your cold market into your warm market. And so I had a person, like two or three people I was working on relationships with. One of them, I asked her initially, are you interested in the coaching opportunity? Because she was kind of like how I was. She was going to the gym and she was posting her workouts. And I knew I know she's going to be a great coach one day. So I'm still kind of working on that, but I was able to get her to join my challenge group, because I turned her basically into my warm market by creating that connection, because she's from the Bay Area too. And I just found something that we could relate to. And then I invited her, she joined my challenge group, and now we're like pretty cool friends. And so that was a big thing for me. And I do a lot of my invites on Instagram. I tried doing Facebook, but it's just like harder for me to keep track of, because the majority of our market is on Instagram. So that's what I did for my invites.
All right, last one we have. So we wanted to kind of talk about what our Rockstar Leader's done for us that's been the most helpful. So thanks, April. But I think for me, the single most helpful thing, well, I guess two, is that she believed that I could do this. So there's a lot of people in your life that, yes, the people who love you believe in you, but they believe in you in a different way. So that was huge for me for her to say, you're going to be a rock star, just know it. And then the other big thing for me that she really did was she began that group chat. The August Coach Pod, I think, was really like coach changing for me, because people asked questions that I didn't even know to ask. So it was really helpful there. And then she's been something that I hope to be able to do for other coaches someday, but since I signed Liz up a day after I signed up me, she's helped me mentor Liz and kind of took her under her wing to help her be successful, because Liz is going to be awesome. And I didn't want to mess it up at the beginning, and I know I wouldn't, but I wanted her to have the best experience possible, and just being very non-judgmental about the way, you wanted to run the business. Because at first I was like, I'm just going to do this as a hobby and it's going to be fun. And then, now it's not just a hobby. So I look forward to it. And I really wasn't expecting, to like the team calls and meet people. And I know I met Shayla right away, and I was really impressed with her. And it's just been like really fun to get to know her. I was texting her today, and that was, I've never met you, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. So for me, I think one of the things was definitely that group chat. It's really helped me, because I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's been plenty of times where I've asked April questions that other people have asked. So I could only imagine how kind of frustrating that would be to have to re-answer the same question over and over and over. So like Jess said, when people post pictures in our group chat, not post pictures, post questions in our group chat, it's really helpful because it's like, oh, I didn't even think of that. And then now, it's not just April who's answering all the questions, it's everyone. And which is really nice because, I was always told that you have the highest knowledge when you're able to teach someone something. And so I feel like, seeing other people and like seeing people like Liz step up and answer a question, it's really like, wow, look at this girl. She is growing, And so that's been really nice. So definitely when I build my own team, that's something I'm going to for sure do. And then another thing is stressing the importance of choosing the people on your team wisely. And so I feel like after hearing that, it's taught me not to just go after any random person to add to my team, because it's important to kind of not necessarily keep the exact same people around you, but people who have the same goals and kind of the same morals as you on your team. And so after hearing that, like I've been more focused on, do I really want this person on my team? Will they really help me get to where I need to get? And are they like truthful, So that's really helped me. And also the fact that, not only April, but I know other leaders like Heather and Rachel, I'm pretty sure you guys are reaching down to people in your, not only like in your downline, like let's say Jess is going to help Liz. She's not only going to help Liz, but she's also going to help people that Liz recruited. And I think that's really great too, is just knowing that it's not just the people who are below you that you're going to help. You're going to help everyone, because essentially everyone is still part of your team. And so I think long term, that's really going to help me because, I have, I know someone who's also in like another MLM. And then like one of the things she said was like, well, that person's not under me, so it doesn't really matter. And I was like, well, it really does, because she's still technically a part of your team, And so I think that's also what makes us different, is that we understand that this is a team effort and not just an individual effort. So thanks for that, April.
That takes the pressure off of us too. I mean, really it does, Shayla, because I'm not going to know all the answers when my downline asks me.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to be able to say, oh, hey, I'll 3-way call with April. Not that I've done that yet, but someday I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, and anytime. I did too with Shayla. And I think I did a couple with Victoria. But yeah, anytime. Just reach out to, and if I'm not your upline, reach out to your diamond upline. Yeah, I've done that a lot, because sometimes it's just like, if you edify somebody else too, like whoever is getting on, then it gives more value of whatever they're saying too. So that's just kind of like, anytime you do that, or if it's a group message or anything like that, edify that other person, then that person, whether it's me, I'm going to edify, Shayla back. And then it's just everything that you say kind of has a little bit more. But this is so good, guys. You killed it. This was absolutely amazing. And I'm so proud of you. And I know this is going to be just so helpful for every single coach that watches it, whether they are a new coach, whether they have coaches and they're trying to learn how to lead. So everything was just spot on. I couldn't have asked for anything better. So yay.
Good job, Jess.
So does anybody have any questions for them about anything they went over? It was just like really, really good though. That's just like basically what people need. So before anybody hops off, I do want to take a picture. And then I have a couple other things that like kind of spoke to me from this call that I kind of wanted to go over. So does anybody have a phone that they could take?
I do.
Okay.
Although I have to figure out.
Go to your Instagram stories to take it through there so that we can add it there.
The Instagram stories?
Yeah, so just like go to like your Instagram and then do like the normal.
Okay.
But give us like a countdown. So.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's blurry. I'm probably the worst person to do this. Okay.
She's pulling an April.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
You can be a coach.
Got it. All right.
So yeah, so then just post that, save that, and then post that into the team page. So save it before you add any writing or anything on it. Did you do it sideways? It's going to be sideways, girlfriend.
I did it this way.
Okay. Just was like, wait a second. Okay. So
oh wait. Okay, I'm fired. I didn't have everyone on.
I would like to request
No, Greg
somebody
is
else.
in there.
You are the weakest link. No.
Liz got it.
I got one. We're good. We're good.
Let's go ahead and do it. Okay, good. Thanks.
Like attracts like. Hi, I love you. Okay. So some things I wanted to touch on. Shayla read or listened to all the Craig Holiday, so I'll share that. Brooke Lipoff shared that with me. He's like a network marketing like guru. So I'll share those in Beautifully Made either tonight or tomorrow. I loved the PB&J My Way, and then I saw Heather, kind of said like that's what a leader does. Like a leader just goes in and makes it their own. You cannot copy and paste a script from me and use it there. It's not you. It won't work. So I think that's perfect that, if you feel like icky putting it all at one time, that's fine. And you know what? When I'm like going through and I'm doing my bubble sheet, like I'm writing down these names, even if it's not an invite, even if it's like, because I know the next time they respond, it's going to lead to an invite. So that's kind of how I look at that too. So I love that you said you did that. The coach pods, I also wanted to say, that, I'm always like, hey, I'm in. And like, I've always done this for Heather and Rachel. And now I see they are always doing it, for their people. And anytime you see any single coach on our team make a call to action kind of post, that's like, let me know if you want to join or drop a gift, like play along. It does not matter if you already have it. It doesn't matter if you already, are a coach, but just when it's a lot of times people are like afraid to be the first person to comment. So have some fun with it. Ask people to drop gifts below, ask people to, do emoji or whatever. But if you make a call to action post and you're like, crickets, like just make a comment or in like the pods that you're in and be like, hey, can somebody go show me some love on my last post because nobody has said anything. And just that's when you're like, hey, I'm in, send me information, because you're going to get more and more people to respond that way. 3-way Zooms, I covered that. Make sure that, you can always reach out to us if you want to connect and help us seal the deal for you, because honestly, in the beginning, sometimes that's the hardest part. So let me help you. And then I kind of go through this, I do, we do, you do. So I will do everything, I run all the groups, and as you're new, you can add your people to my challenge groups. You can add people to my sneak peeks. You can do all of these things. And then it's we do. So like I'm in the group with Jess and Liz if they need anything, or like sometimes I commented on something about a 3-day refresh today. I can help you out if you want to do anything together. And then you do. So I do, we do, you do. And then you're doing it on your own, and you're going to start the cycle again with your coaches where it's, I'll do it for you. And then we do, and then you do. And I can't tell you enough how beneficial that is. And like Shayla said, it's not just, well, she's not in my downline, because Jennifer on this call is my coach, Kelly. That's her upline. And like, just sharing is caring. Like, it doesn't matter if people are, to the left, to the right, down, whatever. The more people that you can help and help to grow in this business, it becomes a team and a community. And that's what it's important. It's not about, well, you're not going to help me get to a lead, or you're not going to help me with this. So, and I really, really want you to dig into, stop it, Melissa. Melissa's like laying in bed with like the Golden Gate Bridge behind her. And it's like taking her face away. It's just so weird. Okay, and the last thing I want to tell you guys is the rule of 5 is something that Keith Callahan, who's like just like this huge like 7-figure earner, and he doesn't hit huge Success Club numbers. Like I know like Ashley Mull said she's like the #1 coach, and she's like, she had a post go viral and she's hitting Success Club 400 and 500, and like people are just like, oh, what? Like that's not duplicatable. Like that's probably my worst nightmare. Like I would just have a panic attack and crawl under my like desk and cry because I'd be like, I forgot who's doing what. Like that's just not something I would do. So I don't want you to focus on these huge numbers. In fact, once you get to 10, I want you to put everything through a secondary account for volume purposes. It makes no sense. It's your ego trying to get on the Success Club board. And if you notice, I don't even really do Success Club boards. I do in the beginning of the month, but I do volume, and I just have a little star if you've hit Success Club, because it's not about the numbers. It's about your building your volume and growing your income. And that's why I'm really excited for this volume push. So for example, Melissa's cracking herself up over here. I can't even look at her face. But if you look at I was talking to a coach who was Diamond, but currently is back to Emerald. And she was like, hey, I don't know where to go from here. And I said, well, what's your goal? Is your goal Diamond, or is your goal to raise your income? And she's like, income. And so she needs 3 coaches on her strong leg to get back to Diamond. But right now, if you would put 3 coaches, those 3 coaches on your weak leg, you're gonna grow your volume and your cycle bonus more. So yes, the ultimate goal is to get to Diamond, but honestly, you have to take a look at your income and say, when you're Diamond, you cap at $250. Before you're Diamond, you cap at $250 a week. You cannot make more than $250 a week in your cycle bonus. If you're getting close to that, then yes, you need to really focus on getting to Diamond, because Diamond then is like $2,000 a week. So it is important to get to rank to be able to increase the amount that you can cycle, but I can't even take you right now. Is anybody even paying attention to me right now?
I feel like it's last week when we were laughing and texting during that last call.
Oh yeah, we were on Brad's call live, and he's talking about his like terrible childhood. He's talking about mindset, and he's talking about his bad childhood and his like parents like dying. I don't even remember what it was happening, and we were in this group chat, and we were talking about something totally inappropriate, and we were like laughing, trying to hide our faces because he's talking about like, okay, stop, this is inappropriate, we can't do this anymore. So, but yeah, so that was basically, he wanted to focus on volume, and the rule of 5 was what I was getting back to. Keith Hallahan says, find 5-star diamonds, 5 5-star leaders in your organization, and they don't have to be personally sponsored. So 5-star is your goal, and then your goal is to create 5 5-star diamond leaders in your downline. Doesn't matter where they are. And that is going to lead you to a 6-figure income. So work with the willing wherever they are in your downline. And if they are taking off and you see them signing people and you see them, making great posts and reaching out to people, then you work with them very closely. And that's where you need to focus on your time. Because if you work with 5 leaders to get them to 5-star, that's 25 diamonds in your downline. That's going to be an amazing paycheck. So,
do you follow everyone in your downline?
No, I try to. So like, I'll do a call with people and I'll be like, hey, so my leader's like, hey, who is really working? Send me the message or send me their name so I can reach out to them. And so I sent a couple, like Heather and Rachel last week gave me a couple of people. So I sent them this like little video that was like, I believe in you. Let me know I'm here for you. Things like that. So I can start conversations that way. If people are engaging in the team page, like Heather's coach Jody is like always in there. So I'm, reaching out to her. Wait, she is yours, right? Jody. Okay. You looked like, I was like, wait, no, is she Rachel's? She's always engaging and, I see her in the team page all the time. So I will reach out to her a lot. Basically anybody I see that's engaging and doing stuff, I'm going to make it a point to reach out to them. So I don't even know what time it was. Okay, it's 8:55. So I'm gonna wrap up this call. So many people on here tonight. So thank you for listening. Thank you so much, Shayla and Jess, not Jayla. It's like your name together. This was amazing. I can't wait to share the recording with everybody. I have to take a look. I've got a motivational speaker. She's coming on, and one day I have to take a look. My phone's downstairs. I'm sorry. It's going to be either next week or the week after, where it's not going to be Thursday. It's going to be a different day of the week because she couldn't do Thursday. So I'll put everything up and make sure you guys are aware of that. But I'm really trying to get some big name people that are super successful in this business. I've got Pat Reelman. He's going to host sometime next month. And he's talking about volume. Their whole family is just like, ridiculous. Let me